Exceptionality is a term used to identify patterns of strengths and needs common to groups of students. They may range from having cognitive disorders, learning and physical disabilities, developmental delays, or being gifted and talented. Therefore, children with exceptionalities bring their own special talents to the classroom, their peers, and teachers. So let's stop and think about the following question. The answer is simple, because essentially every student is exceptional with their own strengths and weaknesses, in which it is the teacher's job to build upon. In today's public school classrooms, the most prevalent exceptionalities seen are developmental disabilities and learning disabilities. About 4 to 6% of all students are classified as having a specific learning disability in our nation's public schools, and the number of children with developmental disabilities increased by 17% in the last 12 years due to diagnoses of autism and ADD. Therefore, it will be inevitable that these students will be in each teacher's classroom. The following clip helps illustrate what a child with a learning disability faces every day in their life, and especially in the classroom.
Okay, bottom of the page again, don't turn the page, bottom of the page, what kind of animal is that, Jody?
Camel.
Lee, if I want to see a camel, where can I go?
To a desert.
Where's a good desert? Stephanie, where's a big desert? What country?
The Sahara.
Quickly, another one. Nancy, what country? What country is the Sahara in, Nancy?
Africa.
Good guess, Karen. If I want to see a camel, where can I go?
Egypt.
A famous story with a camel in it, Debbie. Car, do you know a famous story with a camel in it?
Kipling's Just So story.
Kelly, famous story with a camel in it.
The Arabian Nights.
Melissa, famous story with a camel in it.
I don't know.
Okay, don't turn the page yet. Who wants to volunteer for the next one? Let's take a look. Not one volunteer. Why? There's two reasons why you won't volunteer in this particular exercise. Let me explain to you what they are. First of all, you've been learning disabled now for the last 10 minutes or so. Learning disabled people do not like surprises. They don't like dealing with something if they don't know what's coming up. You don't know what's coming up, so you're not going to volunteer. But that's not the real reason you're not volunteering. The real reason you're not volunteering is this. And think about this. What did I say to you when you got an answer right? What did I say? Nothing. No reinforcement, no recognition, no reward. I never told anyone it was a good answer. I never responded positively to one response that I got. What did I say when you couldn't get an answer, when you couldn't think of something or you made a mistake? What did I say then? Had plenty to say then, didn't I? You see, what you've learned in 10 minutes is what the learning disabled child has learned in his school history, and that is this. You're sitting there thinking, why should I play with this guy? Why should I play this game? Because based on what I've seen, if I get the answer right, he's not going to say anything. And if I get it wrong, he's going to embarrass me. So why should I volunteer? You see, what I've done is knocked all of the risk-taking out of you. When we deal with learning disabled adults, we find their most common problem is they won't take chances. Because all of the risk-taking was knocked out of them in their early years. Because you've learned that if you get the answer correct, I'm not going to give you any reinforcement. You're thinking, what's the best that can happen? The best that can happen here is that I get the answer correct and he won't say anything. But the worst that can happen is I get it wrong and he's going to embarrass me. So I'm just going to sit here. I'll respond if he calls on me, but there's no way I'm going to volunteer.
If you experienced frustration, anxiety, or tension, then you successfully felt the emotions a child with a learning disability would feel. So let's stop and think again. How can teachers create culturally responsive teaching strategies for not just students with learning disabilities, but all students, in order to avoid situations like the one in the video? The following strategies are just a few of the many tools that can give all students, especially those with exceptionalities, a positive learning experience. Differentiated instruction gives students the chance to learn material the way they process information, whether that's visually, auditorily, verbally, or even at a fast or slow rate. A positive learning environment provides encouragement to do better and feel comfortable in the classroom to participate. By emphasizing student strengths, this allows other students to see how everyone's differences can come together. And finally, as a teacher, simply knowing each of your learners and how they work makes all the difference for student success. So how does the title Unexceptionalities tie all together? Because students with exceptionalities are exceptional, and in order to be exceptional teachers, we must educate ourselves to avoid being the unexceptional. We have to continue to learn new methods and strategies that work for all of our wonderful and unique different learners.